You explained it to me, I must admit, but just for the record, you were talking shit. Long rap about no knock being legislated for the people you've always hated in this hellhole that we call home. Welcome to No Knock, an artistic speak out against the American police state. We are honored to present to you a full and diverse program of poets, MCs, artists, and activists who will speak to the wide range of topics related to the police. In the middle of the program, we will have a brief workshop on knowing our rights led by Ethan Viets Van Leer. This is the first event organized by the Revolutionary Poets Brigade of Chicago, a new chapter of an international movement that was founded in San Francisco 4 years ago by Jack Hirschman. Our mission, briefly, is to organize poets and other artists who strive to use art as a tool for social justice within grassroots struggle for human rights. Today's program is in solidarity with the reading happening today in Santa Rosa, California, to commemorate what would have been the 14th birthday of Andy Lopez, a boy who in February was shot dead with 7 bullets by a police officer while walking with a plastic rifle. Here in our own community, we have recently suffered another similar tragedy. A month ago today, 20-year-old Dominic Demo Franklin was tased by a police officer just a few miles east of here on North Avenue for retail theft. 2 weeks later, on May 20th, he died in the hospital. Today, we honor the memories of these and other victims of police violence as we reaffirm our promise to not let their deaths be in vain.
When we discussed the idea of holding an event in solidarity with the California chapter of the Revolutionary Poets Brigade, we decided to broaden the subject from police brutality to include other related issues, such as the prison industrial complex, political repression, mass government surveillance, the corruption of the justice system, and other urgent matters concerning our relationship to the state, in order to take a larger look at the complex systems of oppression we face. We named the event No Knock, after a 1972 poem by Gil Scott-Heron that Barbara just read the opening lines from. A poem that protests a law that allows police to enter premises without knocking. And we subtitled the event, An Artistic Speak Out Against the American Police State. I want to take responsibility for the evocative nature of this language and not take the meaning of the term police state for granted. Our intention today is not only to provoke emotion, but to educate each other about important recent incidents and current movements concerning citizens' relationships with police, and have a conversation through which, hopefully, we may come to a better understanding of the overall situation we face in our country today in regards to the state, and how we might act to improve it. To begin, I want to read a few dictionary definitions of police state. From Google, police state. A totalitarian state controlled by a political police force that secretly supervises the citizens' activities. From Merriam-Webster, police state. A country in which the activities of the people are strictly controlled by the government with the help of a police force. A political unit characterized by repressive governmental control of political, economic, and social life, usually by an arbitrary exercise of power by police, and especially secret police in place of regular operation of administrative and judicial organs of the government, according to publicly known legal procedures. As we listen to the speakers who will present, I ask all of us here to consider the following questions. What are the various elements of a police state? Do we see these elements in the U.S.? If so, where and how are they manifesting? Are these conditions getting better or worse? Are we in danger of our country becoming a full-blown fascist police state? And what are the most important actions we as Americans can take to protect our rights against totalitarian motions in our government and society? We in the Revolutionary Poets Brigade believe in the power of poetry and art to be engines of social movements. This is why we asked every presenter, even those who are primarily activists, to include something poetic or creative in their presentations. To that end, I'll close with the last few lines of the poem that I began with, the poem after which we named the event. But if you're wise, no-knocker, you'll tell your no-knocking lackeys, ha! No knock on my brother's head. No knock on my sister's head. No knock on my brother's head. No knock on my sister's head. And double lock your door, because soon someone may be no knocking. Ha ha for you. No knock, to be slipped into John Mitchell's suggestion box. Gil Scott Heron, 1972.